Hey, Guitar Hero Challengers. Today, let's talk about picking. All right, so we're going to take some of these same chords, G, D, C, and also E minor, and I'm going to show you a really easy progression to pick through to practice your right hand picking if you play right-handed, or left hand picking if you play left-handed. So, all right, let's go. All right, so the song is Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the G chord like this. I'm still using that 4-finger G chord. All right, and I'm going to pick from the low E string like this. I'm going to pick a low E and maybe skip down to the D, G, B. Sometimes I'll play the high E, sometimes I won't. But basically you're going to play two sets of 4 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you're going to switch to the D chord. Now with the D chord, I'm actually going to take my thumb and wrap it over the top, or you could say the lowest bass string, E string, and wrap it and grab that F sharp in the bass. This is a challenging technique for a lot of people. However, what I often find is when they're strumming the D chord, they want to play more than just the D string down. Right? They want to play the A string, sometimes the E string down. It's very easy to do that. So in order to make that less of a problem, what we do is we wrap the thumb over the bottom, the bass note there. All right? And that gives us an F sharp in the bass. And we can still play the D chord, and we don't have as many problems with it as long as we can learn to wrap that thumb around. The trick is leaving the fingers exactly in place on the tips of the fingers and still wrapping the thumb over the top. That's the trick of that. Okay, so, and I don't always need it, but he does use it sometimes. So here we go. So we're going to go from the G chord to the D, thumb the bass, C, to the D, G, thumb in the bass, C, Okay, so what happens specifically between the G and the D and the E minor looks like this. So I've got my 4-finger G with the 3rd finger on the B string here, and I'm plucking the E, D, G, B strings, and then I switch to the D with the F sharp in the bass with the thumb, okay, and then I go to the E minor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then C, and then the D. Now usually on that D though, I won't play the top string twice. Put a little pause in there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, so I'll do like 4 down, 3 up. Okay? But I'm always starting on that D string and then going to the high E string, unless I use the thumb, in that which case I'm playing the thumb and then skipping down to the D string. So I'm at G, so E, so as far as strings played, E, D, G, B, E, D, G, B, and then on the E minor I do the E, A, D, E, B, G, D. Now, it really doesn't matter always exactly what strings you play on some of these, because you could do these 4 down and these 4 up. That will still sound great, right? So I would play around with it a little bit. It doesn't have to be exactly the same picking pattern, but essentially what I'm doing is, by the way, is when I'm picking down towards the floor, when I'm going down that way, I'm actually picking down on all those strings that I picked down, and then I come up as I go back up. So down, 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 up, 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 up. And that goes for all of these chords. So G, down, 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 up, 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 up. Down, 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 up, 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 up. Down, 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 up, 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 up. Down, 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 up, 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 up. Okay, that one I turn around a little bit. Down, down, down. I can either go down, 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 down again, or down, 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 up, 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 which is what I tend to do naturally without even thinking about it. Okay, so I'm just going in the direction of the arpeggio, and arpeggio is just a broken chord. So this is the chord, and if I'm breaking it up, I'm just doing this. Okay. Now maybe in another lesson I'll give you some of those tips on how I do those little tricks, okay? But essentially right now I want you to just focus on just picking. Now, if for some reason you can't put the thumb in the bass, if that's just really hard, then don't even worry about it. Don't pick the E string. The reason that doesn't sound great if I include the E string, right? It just doesn't sound great. Because the E is in the bass there, it's a D with E in the bass, right? Maybe in some contexts that might sound pretty good, but for what we're doing right now, it doesn't. So that's why we wrap the thumb around. But if you can't do that, then just stick with going from the D string down, right? And just pick these 3 or 4, and then back on 3. So 1. Okay? So focus on just those 4 strings, like that, all right? And like I said, as far as the transitions are concerned, when I go from the G to the D, my 3rd finger stays in place. Sometimes the C, getting to the C might be tricky. Okay? If that's the case, if we're going from a D to the C and the C is tricky, just do C add 9. So it's not exactly the way that the song goes. It's still going to work though. It's still going to be fine. It's not going to be the end of the world. If you can sometimes still incorporate that regular C in there, that's great. Sounds really good, all right? So don't fret about that, get it? Fret? Don't fret about it, all right? Just enjoy it. All right, see you next time. All right, one more thing. If you still don't like the way that we're playing the D chord, if you don't like putting the thumb in the bass, and you don't like holding that high E string for an extra 8th note, you can pick it like this. Okay, what I'm doing now, I'm still doing 8th notes, but I'm picking D, G, B, G, E, B, G, D. I do it again. D, G, B, G, E, B, G, D. Do it again slower maybe. D, G, B, G, E, B, G, D. Okay? E, G, B, G, E, B, G, D. Pick that out. And between the C, okay, now that we've talked about the picking for this song, Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton, I'm going to finish by just playing the lead guitar intro over it, just so you can get an idea of what it should actually sound like when it's all put together. By the way, if you continue to stick around for the next few weeks, I will show you how to play lead lines similar to this one on the guitar, and the scales and other tips and tricks and techniques that you need in order to be able to do that. So, in the meantime, let's go.